I'm Rachel and welcome to my channel. Today is my, if you've seen it already from the title, my TBR, which is the books I hope to be reading for 2019, like to be read. So there's not a huge amount here insofar as they will probably chop and change and I'll probably add more as the year goes on. But at the moment, this is what they are. And I've divided them into 3 categories, which is young adult, fiction, and crime fiction. So we'll start with the young adult. So, young adult was a genre I was like super into back a few years ago, and then I sort of stopped reading it after sort of Twilight and all the vampires. And then I'd kind of only pick up sort of 1 or 2 crime fiction, young adult ones, but I've super got back into it again. So this is my pile. The one I'm reading at the moment, which I thought I'd just add on, is this one, which is called The Hate List by Jennifer Brown. And it's about a girl called Valerie whose boyfriend Nick does a school shooting, and he ends up by shooting her but not killing her. She kind of throws herself in front of somebody who he's about to kill, and then he shoots himself. And it's basically it's her story about what happens after, because she's known to be the girlfriend of this guy, so therefore was she in on it. And it turns out that the people who he killed are from this hate list that they created, which was kind of this fictitious, or at least in her mind, kind of fictitious hate list, like this way of like venting. They used to kind of write to each other, and if somebody was like horribly bullying them, or a teacher was horrible to them or something, they would be like, oh, we're adding such and such to the hate list. And then Nick goes and uses the hate list to target people for this killing. It's quite interesting though, because the book was actually done a few years ago now. I think it was like 2009 or something like that. So obviously there have been a lot of school shootings since then, which is horrible. But it's weird because it was at that time when they used to make the news cycle for a school shooting used to be kind of it was like nearly a week of whenever you turn, they'd be like, oh, they're still talking about it. And it was at the time when they really used to try and like dig into the life of the shooter, which is how she's basically become sort of famous, but not in a good way, obviously, for being the girlfriend. Like, she's like, everybody in the country, everybody in the world knows who I am, and they're all questioning her. Whereas it's a bit odd because now these days there's kind of been a bit of a shift, which I think is a good shift, to not make these horrible people notorious. So these days I don't know, although you kind of know the name of the person, they don't make them as notorious as what they used to be. And they don't, so I don't think that we would necessarily know the girlfriend's name. Maybe because she was shot, but not in the way that she's like, at the moment, it's kind of like all eyes are on her. And I think because we have the news cycle for a school shooting has gone down a lot as well, which is horrible again on so many levels. Everything about school shooting is just insane on so many levels. I don't think that the storyline of her dealing with kind of being famous for this horrible thing and everybody knowing about it, I don't think that would still be part of the storyline. Maybe it would be more, it's massively affected her life and the people around her, but the rest of the world has carried on. Would probably be more what would happen these days. But in saying that, that doesn't make it irrelevant that this is different. It's so interesting to see how her friends have responded to her. She ends up having to go back to the school that it all happened in, and how people saw, because she did throw herself in front of that person, but then she was the girlfriend, and so it's so interesting to see how that all unfolds. So yeah, so that was the first one, The Hate List. I'm kind of quarter of the way through, maybe a third, but yeah, highly recommend so far. So the other YA books I want to read this year. Some of them have been sitting on my shelf for quite a while, but next one is The Extinction Trials. I got this one as a proof from work last year, and I really wanted to read it at the time, but then got distracted by other things. Basically, the tagline is The Hunger Games meets Jurassic Park. I like The Hunger Games, I love Jurassic Park. And the second book is out, so I'm kind of intrigued to see what it's actually like. So it's kind of sci-fi. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. The next one is, oh, did I actually put, oh, S.M. Wilson, by the way, is the author of this one. The next one is The Fandom by Anna Day. Again, I got this one as a proof. The cover's different. The cover's really nice, actually. It's about some cosplayers at Comic-Con, and anyone who knows me knows that I am a big, fat, massive geek, and I used to go to a lot of conventions and like the London Comic-Con and things like that. So I'm really intrigued by this one. I think it should be really good. The next one I want to read, because I'm a bit slow to the boat, which is not a good thing, but I'm hoping to catch up, is Children of Blood by Tomi Adedini. I'm really sorry for saying your last name wrong, but I have heard such good things about this book, and I really, really, really want to read it. So yeah, that's on my the YA ones. The next category is fiction. I've only got 3 in fiction. The first one is Giovanna Fletcher. I haven't read any of her books before, but I do love her podcast and her on YouTube, so I thought I'd get one of her books. The next one is The Poison Bed by, who is it by? The proof does not say who the author is. That is weird. How did that happen? Or is this Michael Joseph, maybe? Oh no, Elizabeth Fremantle. Elizabeth Fremantle is the author. Okay. See, it's kind of historical, autumn 1615, and it's about, so sort of, what's 1615, that's kind of Elizabethan-y type time, around then. So it's a historical fiction one about a couple who were imprisoned in London for suspicion of murder. So kind of right up my street. So yeah, I'm kind of, though I wonder if that would actually come under crime fiction, I'm not sure. But I'm excited to read it anyway. So that, and then the last one is All That She Can See by Kerry Hope Fletcher. I recently, and I've got it linked in another, I've done a previous video on one of her books, which I will link, which I did her new one, which is When the Curtain Falls. So I really, really liked that one. I thought it was really, really good. It was nice to see like an insider's view of sort of stage life and the West End. So I'm intrigued by this one. She does, I think it's called magic realism, where it's kind of everyday life but with this kind of sprinkling of magic on top, and that again seems to be what this one is. So I'm really excited to read this one. I think I might save them for the summer though, they feel like quite good summer reads. Billy and Me, I don't think I actually said the title of the Giovanna Fletcher, I think I just said Giovanna Fletcher, but it's Billy and Me. So yeah, I think I'm going to probably save those ones for the summer. Then my last category is the biggest one, which is crime. So I'm a huge crime fan. So the first one is actually a true crime one, which is this one, which Pete got me for Christmas. Under the Wig, A Lawyer's Stories of Murder, Guilt and Innocence by William Clegg QC. So just all stories from 14 real cases that Bill Clegg was involved in as a top defense lawyer. That sounds really good. So I'm excited for that one. The next one is, and you would have seen me if you've watched any of my other videos, hold this one up before. This is The Murder, She Wrote, The Ghost of Mrs. Fletcher. I love these Murder, She Wrote books. I really, really do. And this one, I was supposed to read, or well, I bought to read while we were in Florida, and I think I read one page. I never got a chance. I was hoping the day that we went to, oh, what's it called? I keep thinking Volcano Bay, but that's not where we went. Typhoon Lagoon. The day that we went to Typhoon Lagoon, I was going to have a chance to sit and read because Pete was going to take William into the pool and stuff, but Typhoon Lagoon day was awful, so that didn't happen. So yeah, I think I've read like a couple of pages, so I want to finish it because I do love these books. The next one are both Michael Connelly books. I am a huge Michael Connelly fan. Love his books, love him. As I love the way he writes, because what's really cool about him is the fact that he used to write for the LA Times. He used to be the person who was on the crime beat, so he used to write all the crime stories. So he used to talk to the police officer. He has this real interesting insight into crime in LA, and his books are set in LA, and he's a huge Raymond Chandler fan, and like owned that flat that Raymond Chandler, it was owned the flat that Raymond Chandler used to live in, or where he set one of his books, something like that. But it's got like, you can feel the influence, not that he's like a direct copy or anything, but you can feel the influence, so it makes the books feel like they've got history to them. And so Nine Dragons is Bosch, Harry Bosch. You might have seen the TV show on Amazon. And I'm reading through them all. I mean, he's written a lot of books. There are a lot of books, like a lot of Bosch books. I think there's like 20 something of them. So I'm only up to this one. I think I'm 14. I'm up to 14. And this one looks really good. It's to do with the triads and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. And then I have read some of his other ones based on the other characters that he has, but what I haven't read yet is The Lincoln Lawyer, which is one of the other one of his really, really famous characters. So I need to read that. I've read the other one about, oh, I can't remember what his name is, the journalists who did The Scarecrow. I've read those, they're really good. And his new series that he's got with Renee, I think is the name of the main character. I'm very bad at remembering these characters' names. Who's his new female cop that he's writing about. And yeah, she's really cool. She's probably like proper kick-ass. She's amazing. So yeah, so I'm gonna try and read these as well. So yeah, that's my to be read pile, my TBR. Like I said, it will probably change throughout the year because it's me and this is what happens. But yeah, those are my reading goals for the year. Let me know if you've read any of them, if you think any of them are any good, or if you want to read any of them, and let me know what is on your list of stuff and what you like to read. And yeah, give me any recommendations as well, because like I said, this will probably change. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.